Hello and welcome back to Misrepresented. I'm your host, Erika Opie, and you can tell that we changed our setup a little bit because we are coming to you from Cedar Ridge, Colorado. And I was thinking, since I'm spending time with my family, why not have my little sister Erika Opie on because she is so incredible. So welcome, Erika.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here.
You know what? I feel like it's a long time coming because I know that you wanted to start a podcast and now you're kind of experiencing podcast life. What do you think so far?
It's actually really fun. Like setting up and seeing all the behind the scenes that goes on to all of this was actually really, really cool to see. And I'm learning a lot. So I'm really excited to start my own.
Yay, you can cheat off my notes.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm happy to help you with anything.
I know you are. You've always been.
So before we start talking about anything, because I know we have so much to dive into, we do have to thank PinkApple Dresses for dressing us for this episode. I love yours. It's so like military chic.
I know, and I love yours.
Thank you. I love it. Okay, so I think what I want to talk about first is Miss Universe Japan, because you were a finalist at Miss Universe Japan and also Miss Earth Japan. So what is pageantry like in Japan? I know you've experienced it in America. So what is the difference?
Well, the main difference is that I experienced American pageantry through behind the scenes. So I've only competed in Japan. But from what I can tell is that it's a lot more intense in the States. Pageantry is not as well known in Japan yet. So
Really?
yeah, it's really not.
I thought they were like huge in Asia, but I guess
the
not
Philippines,
in Japan.
like
Okay.
Southeast Asia, not so much Japan. Like I'll tell them about Miss Universe, but no one knew what Miss Earth was yet. Like it was only Miss Universe that was like the super big one.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the biggest difference, was that there wasn't a lot of support. Like they're like, oh, like good luck, but yeah,
You're like, what is it?
Yeah, like they didn't realize how much work and like how much goes into pageantry. And they're like, I'm a finalist, and they're like, what does that mean? Like they just don't know a lot about it yet. So it's kind of, we have to work on getting that more well known over there.
I think the coolest thing about pageantry in Japan is that you guys don't pay anything, right? You apply, you get approved, and then you get all this training just for being a finalist.
That was
Everything
Miss
is
Earth.
like, okay.
I think Miss Earth didn't make us pay a lot of money, but Miss Universe Japan, they did have a training fee, which I cannot disclose.
Oh, you can't?
I cannot disclose.
But I'm your sister.
I know. I can tell you in private later.
Oh my. Okay, so tell me, what's it like competing? What was that like?
So Miss Universe Japan was last year, and Miss Earth was 2 years ago. So I don't have much memory of Miss Earth, but Miss Universe Japan was intense. Obviously, Miss Universe is the biggest, like the most well-known pageant. So the girls there also were like, I'm here to win. So that environment was really good. It was like good rivalry. Everyone was really super nice. There was no drama. At least if there was, I wasn't involved. But they were such good like women to be around. The director's a woman who's super into women empowerment, and she really emphasizes how Miss Universe Japan is a women-led organization.
Love that. And that's probably like really incredible for Japan.
It really is. We need that a lot over there. And so, yeah, it was just really good. The training was intense. It was every Saturday, Sunday for 4 months.
Really?
Yep.
So your whole weekends for 4 months, you don't have a life?
No, like I didn't. I would work like Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday was just training, and you're wearing heels all day. And
well, that's good, because then by the time like pageant weekend comes around, your feet are already used to it.
Exactly.
You have the blisters.
No, I had like calluses on the bottom of my feet.
So they're already there. You don't feel anything.
Yep. And I try to keep that going throughout the winter because I want to do it again.
Every weekend for 4 months, like what do you guys do?
So there's a lot of walking. There's a lot of walking, and then some communication, of course, like Q&A. Q&A came a little bit later. At first, they were trying to get us like introduce ourselves, how to do that properly for interviews. And then fashion was another big one my year. This year, they didn't put an emphasis on fashion so much. They had a coordinator who would tell you what to wear. So it was like jeans and like a white shirt. Like you had to wear some sort of fashion coordinated to that, what you planned for that week. But my year, it was all just free. You could wear whatever you wanted to.
PinkApple Dresses.
No, literally. Can you sponsor us, please? Because me included, some people kind of struggled with fashion in the beginning. Later on, you kind of caught on. But in the beginning, there were some girls who were like, go change. And they would have to go buy new stuff that day. Oh my gosh. They were like, you can't train in that. Doesn't look good. So, and plus, we have a whole YouTube channel, a whole YouTube production. We have a documentary. So we were on camera. What? So they were like, you have to come knowing like Miss Universe. And so in the beginning, it was a little rough for a lot of us.
But I think like they're onto something because I feel like you have to show up as the winner.
Exactly.
From day one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not on stage.
Yes. And so that was really good to get that out of the way first. So it's like a lot of fashion, how you stand, your nails. You would check your nails a lot, hair and makeup, obviously. And just your overall like stance and everything was super like you could, yeah, we got a lot of corrections on our posture.
You live in Japan. What is that like? I know you grew up in America and then you moved. So tell me about all of that.
So the move was intense. I didn't quite think it through at first. I had just graduated college and I was like, I'll just move to Japan. It can't be that hard.
Well, give some background, right? So we're both half Japanese, and I feel like she came out full Japanese, I came out fully white, right?
So she took my half, I took her half. Like,
yeah, that's just how the DNA worked out.
And so since about high school, I was really interested in my mom's culture because I felt like being half and bilingual, I should be able to experience both countries just as much. And so yeah, that was my inspiration. And I knew that once I had moved or had started working here in America, I would not be able to move as easily. So I took that graduation as like a mark where I just finished something in America and I can go start something new. And so I just picked my stuff up and moved.
Was it hard finding a job?
It wasn't because English. Being able to speak English is really big over there. So I knew that if anything, I could fall back onto teaching English. And that was my plan to begin with. So I had graduated with a degree in English to be able to teach English in countries abroad. So not just Japan. I wanted to start in Japan because I can already speak the language, but I can use that and go to any other country and teach English, worst case. So that's like a backup plan.
So is that what you do full-time now?
That is not what I do full-time now. I'm actually a professional pole dancer because of my gymnastics background. I did gymnastics for about 20 years.
Like you're really good.
I've been doing it for a long time. A long time. And so when I started working and just like sitting in an office all day and teaching in classrooms, I was like, this isn't fun and I want to exercise more. And I can teach when I'm older. I can teach when I'm older and not as like, like active but while I'm still young and I can still move and do handstands and stuff, I was like, I really want to try something new. And I've had my eye on pole dancing as a sport for a long, long time. I saw a competition when I was in high school, like on YouTube, and it was like a competition. There were scores. It was like a sport, and it was like really intense. And I thought that was crazy.
I mean, I feel like it goes hand in hand with gymnastics. So I have to ask, pole dancing people are like strippers, right? So how is that looked at in Japan, like culturally? Is it looked down on or is it embraced?
Actually, it's starting to be more embraced. If I say I'm a pole dancer, they kind of look at it as more of a sport because I think stripping culture it wasn't quite a thing over there. We brought that more so to the eastern side of the world. So if I say it's like for sport or like for as an art, they actually really open to it. And I feel I get more judgment on that topic in America than I do so in Japan.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's nice.
So I want to dive into skin, right? So backstory,
Yes.
I made pretty much like told Erika, I was like, you have to do pageants in Japan. And she finally was like, okay, fine, Lisa.
Yeah. I would not be here if it were for Lisa.
But I was like, ooh, project. I just always wanted my little sister to do it. So I was coaching her through it. And you've always struggled with eczema. And I was like, Erika, you need to cover those up for stage because Japan's not ready. So tell me about the revolutionary, brave things that you did.
Okay, so yeah, pageantry. I never thought I would be in it because I obviously saw you doing them as I was growing up, but I didn't think it was for me because doing gymnastics at the time, I was a lot more muscular. I didn't think I had the right body or anything. And I feel like at the time it wasn't as inclusive as it is now. And then once I got to Japan and I had some free time, I think it was during COVID where I was off of work for a little bit and I was kind of bored. And Lisa was like, you should try a pageant. And so I entered in Miss Earth and I got accepted. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to do this. Lisa, help me. And she helped me a lot. But the one thing was she said I should cover up my skin. And I wanted to, but there was also a part where like I need to find a platform and I didn't know what to do for that yet. And then I was like, why not skin, maybe like skin positivity and being able to go out and, wear whatever you want to, because that was something I could not do when I was younger. And a lot of Asians have eczema. It's actually like quite a lot. I forgot the percentage off the top of my head, but more than 50% of Asians have eczema. It's like a big number. And so I don't know why it's not talked about a lot over there. Because if I say I have eczema, they're like, oh yeah, me too.
Really?
And
But they cover it
they
all
cover it
up.
all up with makeup, clothing, because obviously, well, I don't know if it's obvious, but Japan is a more modest culture, so they have, they wear longer skirts in even in the summertime, and so it's all easier to cover it up over there. But I didn't want to wear longer skirts. I was like, you should be able to show your skin if you want to, and so that was what I decided to do as my platform. And so on the day of Miss Earth, I didn't wear anything on my body, and it looked a lot worse than it does even now. But
it was like you were in the middle of a flare up, probably from the stress of the pageant.
No,
it was just bad.
Oh my gosh, there's this girl. Sorry, we're gonna fly to this universe. There's another girl who has eczema, but hers started when she became an adult. But we were like the eczema buddies because we were like, we got each other.
Yeah.
And hers was also about her skin and how she dealt with it after not having it her younger life. And so there was we saw each other after the competition and we both looked so good. We were like, oh my god, your skin looks amazing. And we were both like, it was the stress from training. We both knew what it was from.
So the training got you home through.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. But yeah, the stress obviously has a factor. But yeah, the day of the competition, I didn't cover anything up on my legs. It's still on YouTube.
So tell us about the judge that came up to you after.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was a judge that came up to me after the reception, reception party afterwards, and our feet are already dying, and obviously I'm not in like the best mood because feet are dying, didn't place, like it was like a whole thing. But this judge came up to me and like table of friends, and he was like, so does it get better? Like, why didn't you cover it up? Like, are you sure it doesn't get better? And I was like, yeah, it's eczema. It's not, it's like a hereditary skin condition. It's chronic. There's no cure. And if you choose treatment, then it's just steroids and you're just on steroids for the rest of your life. And I did not want to do that. And so I was like, I'm just going to let it breathe and do what it wants to do. Like, I've accepted the fact that I have this. I don't know why you guys can't. But he seemed like he was coming from a good place, but the way he kind of asked the questions was like, are you sure you can't get better? Yeah. And I was like, if I could get better, I wouldn't be here like this.
Because you performed incredibly. And I feel like it was just that the judges were like, they've never seen anything like that before. They're like, what's going on? Does she have chicken pox?
No, like exactly. That's kind of what it was probably. With the stage lighting too, it didn't help.
The best thing that you ever said was like, let's normalize normal skin because it is so normal. And as a makeup artist in pageants, like I would say like 30% of pageant girls, maybe 20 have eczema or something with their skin, psoriasis,
and they all want to cover it up.
They always want to cover it up, and they're like, I tried so hard to get it under control. And so the fact that you're out there being like, this is how you can also look is so brave. Like, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. I just remember, like, that's my platform, and I know if there's even one person who I can help, then it's worth standing on this stage for. And so,
even me just telling my clients that like you did that at I want to say Miss Universe, but Miss Earth Japan, they're like, wow, that's so amazing. I wish I could do that.
So I'm really glad I could help them in that way. Like, it's just skin. We all have little problems. No one has perfect skin, and we all know that. So I don't know why people try to cover it so much. That's on a daily basis. Like pageantry, I understand that you can kind of want to cover it up, but I feel like you should be able to feel free enough to wear whatever you want to, just out and about. Because
what about like Kim Kardashian? Like, how she has psoriasis and she's open about it. Does that help you to know that somebody like that also has that struggle?
It really does. Wow. I think we need a lot more people coming out with like, I have acne, I have cystic acne, I have rosacea, I have eczema. I think we do need a lot more representation in that area for sure. So it does help a lot. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I grew up with you. I know how bad it was. It was, like, bad, Erika. Like, I would, like, worry about you. I'm like, is she going to be okay? But you've really, like, I don't know what you've done to get to this point. So, like, what is the treatment like? Like, what have you tried? And, like, what has worked for you?
Okay, so this is kind of be a long one. But I had this thing called topical steroid withdrawal. And it's not very well known. I didn't know what it was, but it's basically when your skin gets addicted to steroids, and so it just craves the steroids. So it just wants more and more. So when you don't put steroids on, it flares up.
Oh no!
Like what's so much more worse than like a regular eczema flare up. And the difference is that, like, if I put on steroids on regular eczema, then it would calm down for a couple of days or weeks, and it would flare up and I can put it back on. But this one, it would be like immediate. Like I just need steroids. Like it would just constantly flare. And it got to the point where like my skin just needed steroids. And so I had two choices. One was to do steroids my entire life, or get off of steroids and kind of let my skin figure itself out. And I decided I didn't want to do steroids for the rest of my life. And so I did the withdrawal.
How bad was it?
Worst experience of my entire life.
I know.
It was
You've been
so
through
bad.
so much.
But the thing is, even though like to this day, that is the worst thing I've ever been through, but it was so worth it, because now all that like eczema, dead skin that was like addicted to the steroids, like flaked off, like peeled off
Oh
of
my
me,
gosh.
and I came out with a lot like better new skin.
Wow.
And so right now I'm at a point where I only get flare-ups during the spring season, because I also have hay fever. So when the allergies and the pollen are all in the air, my eyes get itchy, and like the regular like inner elbow eczema kind of comes up. But that's all I have to deal with, and that's so much better than
the
anything
whole body,
else.
right? Like, did you have it on your whole body? I know you had it on your face.
I had it
your
on
legs,
my face,
arms,
neck, like stomach area, inner elbows, behind the knees. It was all really bad. Yeah.
Over.
Yep.
So what brought you to this point? Was it just getting off of the steroids and just going through the worst, and that's how you got like super?
That did help a lot. Obviously, I think emotional health and mental health took a big part too. We have a younger sister who also deals with a little bit of eczema, and hers flares when she's in like a stressful situation. And so also for me, if I'm really stressed, I can kind of get a little flushed. And
it sounds like it could be an endless cycle though, because like once you get the flare up and then you get stressed about it and then it gets worse.
Yep. So it's
like a downward spiral.
Yep, exactly. So it's really important for me to like stay calm and not be so stressed about things, kind of just go with the flow and let things kind of pass. So that was something that I've had to learn, was to just not be so stressed all the time, which has helped a lot in a lot of other ways.
Yeah,
but
and probably living in Japan has helped your mental health a little bit.
So much. I love living there, guys.
So tell me about your diet. Did that help at all, or is veganism something else?
So I did start veganism based on the eczema, because I watched a YouTube video trying to figure out how to heal eczema, and there was this one YouTuber who said that a plant-based animal free diet helped her eczema. And so I was like, we'll try it. I'm desperate. We'll do anything. And so I cut out meat first, and then I cut out dairy and eggs. And I think it did help. It helped more for like mentally, honestly, because after doing more research about veganism, I realized that I don't want to hurt animals. Like, I love animals so much, and I did not feel good. I work hard for my money, and I don't want that to go, like, I don't want to pay for animals to be hurt and killed. And so that was more of an emotional, mental thing for me, more so than anything else. Because I think if I, once in a while, like, I'll misread something, and like, especially being in Japan, it's kind of hard to be vegan.
Because there's fish and everything.
Exactly. So if I have a little bit of animal product, it doesn't influence my skin as much, even dairy. And so I think for me personally, my eczema did not affect too much from veganism or not. But I think you can try it, totally try it, because I know that dairy can flare up your skin, if not eczema, like acne as well. So I think it's worth trying. But for me, I'm staying vegan for simply just my own emotional health more than anything else.
I love that. Okay, so give me 3 things that like shocked you when you moved to Japan.
Trains. Oh my God, the trains are so amazing. And I think that could just be a simple like city versus countryside difference, but the Japanese train system is insane, you guys. Like, on time, so fast. I can go anywhere, no problem. Don't need a license. It's just so nice to be able to go somewhere, like kind of multitasking. Because if you're driving in America, you have to focus on driving and can't multitask. But on the train, I can do some work.
So you can stay productive.
Exactly. And I love that so much. And if something happens to the train, it's not my responsibility. So it feels really good. So that's definitely one. Another one.
How about like finding a man?
Okay.
Or just dating in Japan. What is that like?
So I've only had one boyfriend since being in Japan, and we definitely found each other through just chance. We just happened to work at the same school, and I don't know, it was different. But the thing is, I've had my past relationships have also been very international, so I don't have a good like base of like what it's like to date an American. But I don't know.
But you just don't.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been really good. And the biggest difference definitely is that my current boyfriend, also lived in Australia for a year and a half. And so he understands that I'm more of a Western mindset, even though I'm obviously trying to incorporate as much Eastern culture as I can. But there are some parts of me where it's definitely more American than Japanese. And so, but he's able to understand that. So I think I was even worried about dating a Japanese person at first because I knew how
Like, tell me about
closed-minded
like
they
their
could be.
traditional, like cultural expectations of a woman, and what is the woman's place in a household in Japan? Like traditionally, not what you want it to be, but what is the reality?
So traditionally is, they're stay-at-home moms. They cook, they clean, they have dinner ready for their husbands. And this is something I've seen in my uncle's house who lives still in Japan where my
It's
mom
my
grew
uncle
up.
too.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
in our uncle's house. And so, yeah, he comes home, dinner's ready. She has like his drink made, like
Mhm.
everything's good. She takes the kids to school. She does all of the things around the house. All my uncle does is he goes to work, makes the money, comes home
And
and just,
provides.
yep,
Yeah.
that's all it is. And like, that's totally fine if it works for sure. But I think I'm not a cooker. I am not the best cook and I don't really like to cook. I like to bake. And so having dinner ready as an expectation for me, I probably would struggle, honestly.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely good to, talk it out with your
Mhm.
partner and see what works best for you guys. So in our case, he actually loves to cook, which helps so much.
Lucky you.
I know,
He cooks really good. He's been cooking for us out here,
right?
so love the
Yes.
food.
So then in return, though, I do most of the cleaning because I do like to organize. Like Marie Kondo, I am all about throwing stuff away. And so I keep the area clean and organized. And so that's kind of where we took the balance.
Mhm.
But so it really helps that he's kind of flexible like that, where he's not so traditional and expects me to do all the cooking and all the household chores.
Yeah.
And so we can kind of work it out. And that really helps a lot.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think we're almost out of time.
Mhm.
But you said Marie Kondo and throwing stuff away, and I know you're all about the environment, right?
Yes.
So, okay, question, because I don't know if you identify as a millennial or Gen Z, but in the social media era,
Yeah.
we have this like crazy content creator culture where everybody wants to be an influencer.
Mhm.
And now with TikTok shops, right? There's people that can be an affiliate on TikTok shops and
Yeah.
promote a product.
It's a really big thing now.
Everybody is content creating or whatever they're doing,
Yep.
influencing and trying to sell these cheap products from
Mhm.
China for super cheap.
Yep.
And I feel like it's leading to overconsumption.
Oh, for sure.
So I know you are also like an influencer yourself, and so am I. So how do you feel about what's happening there?
So yeah, overconsumption is definitely not good. There's already so much stuff in the world. I'm a huge advocate for buying secondhand. I love going to the thrift stores, especially in
Mhm.
Japan. They got some good fashion at thrift stores. So
Yeah, I would totally go thrifting in Japan.
yep,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
really fun. So I've found some really good bargains, some good dresses, clothes. I actually went through my entire universe wardrobe through a thrift store, like
I hope you
during.
told the judges about that, because that's like really you're like,
Did
did
I?
I? Because that's part of my life.
I mean, they didn't ask me that though. Like in the interview,
Yeah.
like they didn't
Wow,
ask
that's
me.
so
They asked me more about my
amazing.
skin and my
Yeah.
languages more than anything. So
Mhm.
I didn't get to quite talk about that. But I bought like a good portion of my dresses through that I wore to training from a thrift store. And so yeah, Japan is one of the places to be for thrifting.
Yeah, and they're also very eco-conscious.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have you have to pay for plastic bags now and everything. So have your eco bag on you.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
I
it's
feel like
really
they're really like
nice.
paving the way as far
Mhm.
as like totally environmental health goes
Yes.
all
Yes.
around the world.
Yeah.
So, and
And
I
I'm
think people are following Japan's
I hope so.
trends. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really am excited for where, this eco-friendly lifestyle kind of takes all of us.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you shouldn't be buying things that you don't actually need. And if you do need them, then totally get it, of course.
Yeah.
But I think just a little bit of thought could help a lot.
Okay, so this is my favorite part of the show.
Here we
We're gonna do the rapid
go.
fire Q&A,
Okay.
and this is really fun because I actually had Kate, your boyfriend, put these together.
I know I have no idea what he asked. Hold on. Okay.
So let's see. I don't either. I'm looking at these for the first time, so let's
Okay.
see. Okay, first question.
Yes.
Christmas or New Year's?
Christmas.
Okay, pageant stage or modeling runway?
Modeling runway.
Interview or on stage question?
Ooh. Interview.
Yeah, same.
Mhm.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Traitor.
I know. I knew you were gonna say
Really?
mountain. I knew it. But I love the beaches.
You guys are so weird. I swear, it's
Really?
only me and Angel Strong that have said mountains. Everyone else is beach, beach, beach. And I'm like,
Really?
but I live by the beach.
I mean,
so
the
I'm
thing is,
like,
it's not like I don't like mountains. I love being here, but I think it's just like the cold. I like
yeah.
because dry skin and everything. What comes
get
with the
it.
mountains? The
Yeah.
beach is just a little more moist, so it kind of helps me. And also, the beach water helps my eczema so much.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, so that's why I love being in the beach. It's like a healing session for my skin.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm a mountain girly.
we know.
Just one of the very few. Coffee or tea?
Tea for sure.
Okay, mascara or falsies?
Falsies.
Lisa Lashes.
Yes, I was so excited to wear these today.
Love them.
Yes.
Reels or TikTok?
TikTok.
Urban or rural vacation?
Vacation? Probably rural.
Okay,
I think.
and here we are.
Yeah, exactly. Because I live in the city, so.
Okay, this is where Kay's starts. Actually.
Okay,
so
here
I
we
cheated.
go.
The other ones were mine.
Okay.
Japanese or English?
Honestly, recently, sometimes we're Japanese for some reason.
Nihongo.
Nihongo de hanasu.
Hi. Gymnastics or ballet? Or dance?
Ooh. Gymnastics.
Okay, gymnastics or pole dance?
At this stage in life, pole dance.
Okay, dogs or birds?
Ooh, that's a hard one. He knows me.
I know I'm like birds. I would say cats. He really knows you more than I do. I would never put birds.
You know, me and Christy have a bunch of birds.
Yeah.
Like, I would only have to say birds because I do have an animal dander allergy. So, but I do love my dogs.
Homeschool or public school?
Ooh, homeschool all the way.
Boots or shoes? Let's do boots or heels.
Boots or heels.
Okay.
100%.
Jeans or skirt?
Jeans. I think
she's wearing a skirt.
I know. I was like, it's gonna sound like kind of, but I don't have a lot of skirts.
This
I have
is
a
an
lot of
interview,
jeans.
you're
This is
dressed up.
exactly. Thanks, PinkApple.
Book smart or street smart?
Like in like a partner, I would probably say street smart.
What about in yourself?
In myself, street smart.
Really?
Yeah, like academia was really important in the past, but I think now being able to like be a good person is so much more important than being able to like solve a math problem. So
that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. And book smart people can be annoying sometimes.
Exactly.
Because I was gonna say book smart. That's like the right answer.
No. It's I feel like I should answer smart. That, especially with like Asian background, where you're like we have to answer book smart. But
I can't read the next one. I can't even answer this one. This is tough.
Okay.
Rice or noodles?
Oh my god! Hold on. Noodles.
Me too. Noodles for me because pasta, pad thai, ramen, pho, everything.
Udon.
Best. Yeah, udon, ramen. Okay, I can go on forever.
Yeah, exactly. Rice is just rice. So yeah.
Last one, earrings or necklace?
Earrings.
Or engagement ring. No, I'm just kidding.
It does look a little empty.
Okay, so where can we follow your journey and just stalk you?
Okay, so my Instagram is just Erika_Opie. And I do have a video on YouTube where I talk about my eczema experience. I think I have 2 of them that you guys could probably watch if you're more interested about skin. I forgot the name, but it's linked in my Instagram. So if you find my Instagram, you can find everything else.
We'll link it in the video.
Exactly. Yeah. And then TikTok is also, I think, Erika_Opie. And I talk more about just daily life, but I'm thinking of doing more about skin and like international relationships. And so, yeah, that's where it is now. And if I start a podcast, then it'll be on some of those sites. So I'm sure you'll know.
It's not an if, right? So we're going to go to Instagram.
Yes.
And then you better have me as a guest because now you owe me one.
Yes, please. I know, please. I would love that. I would love so many questions for Lisa, you guys.
Oh my gosh, how
like,
fun.
Yeah, I would love to have you on.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming,
thank
Erika.
you, of course. Yay. Anytime. I'm so happy. Thank you, guys.